Streaming. Woo! It is cold in my village here today. And with that, InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you as always, my energetic beings. And on today's cosmic menu is one of a vision quest, taking our future visions to the starry, starry beyond, frequenting our future self, possibly. But as you begin to see your future, the feelings and the sensations that come streaming through should obviously be ones that resonates with our star center, our heart, our core, our prime directive. Along with our feelings, I generally go with my virtues. Virtues of peace, joy, happiness, integrity, and love. But all in this cosmic chalice, once we've established our virtues, our personal core feelings, it's easier to hold and sustain the force within our sacred garden, the sphere. So anything that disrupts our emotional foundation, our processor, is really not part of our field. So I ask myself, and I would actually have you ask yourself too, for me, it's, does it bring me peace? Does it bring me joy? Does it have integrity, etc.? Stuff like that. Or is it disrupting my inner peace, my inner joy, etc.? So if your inner peace, joy, happiness, serenity is disrupted, your heart is communicating to you and also through you that those emotions do not belong in your starry future. So it's about cleansing the cobwebs of the cosmic highway. That's just as important as cleaning our physical of the toxic debris as well. So this cosmic vision quest is the signal or the sigil of our heart, our personal love story within our container, loving of ourselves, creating a vision for our future self, and holding that frequency, the one that we wish to manifest within our personal vision quest within our chalice. So with that, holla and welcome back to the Daily Snippet. I am your host. I'm an indigenous practicing holistic shaman and medium, otherworldly life coach and subtle energetic surgeon, but I go by the term holistic shamedium, blending the two, which is holism, shamanism, and mediumship all combined into one. And my intention is to use the power of the indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, our original blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through the realm of the elementals, the elemental highway, and into the imaginal realms, the cosmos, with these subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings, with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to really add to your juice, your personal container. But my goal really is to truly, authentically merge the wisdom of these indigenous technologies and ways with the subtle realms, the etheric highway, to assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, the star that I believe we all are. Just reintroducing you to the magical being that resides within so you can shine your light brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. So it's like, are you ready for a spiritual twist that is actually coming up? And again, welcome to a Freaky Friday. I'll get to the 13th here shortly. However, the spiritual twist that's coming up, you know, Monday's live will be a bit later in the day, just to give you a heads up and to take note or notice. So with our spiritual trifecta happening this weekend, our crown is open to the cosmic weave, if you will, being authentic in our heart down to the soul of our bones. So what does your core wish to process, and what is the feeling that it's resonating with? Hopefully it is your spirit directive that comes in and starts to run your show. But how often do you connect to the realm of the spirit world, the cosmic stellium in another dimension? That really is what it is. So I highly recommend that you sit in your spiritual round table with the beings of the other world, whether it's an archangel, an ascended master, the fae, the Wedemaze, an ancestor, the Contemple, source, etc. We've got many options because this is dimensional, the realms, if you will, and really feeling the frequency, the vision quest that's being offered through this eclipsed offering. So I would really tune into my Musing Moon meditation if you haven't yet listened to it, this spiritual vision quest. So you too may be feeling it already. The sauce is beginning to kind of take shape, to take form. And the link is actually in my show notes. But It may feel like the supraluminal field or just the luminal field, or it may feel a little mystical and magical, otherworldly. So this full moon really has the juice of what I call the shaman's portal, the imaginal realm, along with our earth star. So be the star that you are, innovated by the other world. So it really is super saucy coming up in the frequencies. So I'm super excited about that. And if you have yet to join or save your spot for Rising of the Origin, this too is a free virtual immersion, building the foundation in the realms that I play in. If you feel called and it resonates with you, or if you're picking up the frequencies that I may be throwing down, just be sure to sign up soon. It begins June 9th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And the following day, I'm going to do a Q&A to get really into the sauce, the ingredients of the juice, all things really otherworldly. So if you need guidance on your sauce even, go ahead and check out club.tanyad.tv/rise. The link is in the show notes. So has Mercury been disrupting your field? You know, being that we are in the in-between, you may or you may not notice your mind's acumen. Even when the rug appears to be removed, you know, affirm the positive, affirm the attitude of gratitude. So it's like these tests to see if we're paying attention. And the mind really is a tool. It's a spiritual acumen as well as a physical, the logical. But being that today is an otherworldly day, you may feel those dimensional twists, those realms, and see the blockages, shifting your perspectives on an interdimensional timeline, if you will, how you are perceiving things or how you're looking at them, possibly with new eyes. And if you haven't already, please be kind and do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tanya D. Go ahead and hit the bell button so you too are notified. And also, if you don't mind, liking, sharing, and commenting on the videos, so that algorithm on YouTube will echo me out to other like-minded musers in the galactic universe who enjoy the otherworldly realm, along with other social channels like TikTok, Instagram, and my podcast, Musing with Tanya D. I just did a juicy podcast all about rituals. But also, if you too wish to dive deeper, head on over to my Musing corridor where I have offerings to assist you and guide you. I really am your shaman assistant, medium assistant. You really are your own healer. But with the moon in Libra, our feelings today are heartfelt. So Libra is what we have the ability to open up to and feel those feelings in our cosmic chalice. Just moving into those higher degrees of the season, the feelings we frequent, they begin to stir the pot, the cosmic soup. So really be open to receive today those otherworldly, possibly, the other world possibly has a vision for you to set a new stage, filtering through. But on today's day, or a day like today, I kind of preferred the Fae. However, I just played with them a few days ago, the otherworldly insights. So today I'm going to go with the Shadowscapes, which I haven't played with for a minute, I should say. My little dude, here we go. So first up, we actually have the 10 of Wands. So this is the otherworldly realm in the sky. It's the element of fire, the season of Mars, Jupiter, and the sun, along with the elemental season of summer, which is the snake, the horse, and the sheep, or the goat, the greatest of all time. But this is a dryad, and the dryad is actually bearing the weight. It's like the god Atlas, if you will, the weight of what seems to be this little miniature world upon her back. She is otherworldly, so this kind of brings me into our world. She's holding the space for our world. Her branches are weighted down. They're bent beneath. They're this heavy structure. And she's supporting the beings who inhabit those towers of hers to nourish and flow with the life, the tree sap, if you will, the branches and the leaves. And it's their souls. It's the song of their souls that are spiraling up through the foliage from her heart, from the center of the tree. But the gray cold kind of is seeping down into her roots, the otherworldly ones. So it kind of is a burden, a hard one to bear. So she's pushing and she's straining to get upwards, reaching towards the sun for the fire, the sun, that can help to sustain these dark times. But the fire of wands, you know, they're burning low, and it may seem that they are only little embers left, little kindlings from this roaring furnace that comes from within that was. So there's a lot of demands, there are dependencies, and she's struggling. She's trying to keep her head lifted to hold to the center of creativity and bring that nourishment. So it's almost like she's overextending, taking on way too much, burdened with these overwhelming feelings of responsibility, being held accountable, doing things the hard way. And even perhaps those little beings who live in her village, her garden, her branches, those leaves, don't really need this constant watchfulness or the nourishment that she believes is her duty. So it's given freely, and this burden is taken on just willingly. It's like she wants to bear the burden, and she knows she has the strength, and she knows she can flourish. But being that the Ten of Wands is otherworldly, we're being called to love and trust the realm, the other world, and the world, then we can bring that in, loving and trusting through those frequencies. And then following the Ten of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords, which you can see it's a cosmic swirl in the sky, cosmic air. It's action, it's behavior, it's character, it's Mars and Aries. Mars is actually in Pisces right now. But the seed sound of the Nine of Swords, it's like you can see possibly the storm crows up there heralding, they're impending like this dissolution, if you will. And their voices are kind of cawing and they're calling in absolution. They're spiraling around and around. So it's like one future is in pursuit of and one future that is feared. It's this funnel of the sky. It's stretching up to the heavens, the corridor, the galactic cosmos, if you will, the universe. But there's this threatening tower of storms with the glimmer of hope, and it's lighting the eye of turmoil through that. It looks kind of like a portal, a spiraling portal, but it's coming in from the voice of the crows, whispering to come and to follow them, and just singing the song to allow him to be guided through this storm. So he's kind of anxious, he's gazing upwards, he's gazing away, and he's oblivious to the guidance of the dark night of the soul, if you will. So he's clutching his sword very close for security, and he doesn't realize he could easily just grasp his own bright blade, the star, what I would call Excalibur. He could grasp that and point it upwards towards that portal to light his way. But he's kind of ignorant of the beacon within his hands that he's holding so tight. Or perhaps maybe he's too weak-hearted and he's quivering, fear. He's wielding us. So he's kind of in this state of anguish. And I'm not sure you can see the little tattooed swords that are pinpricked markings of his chest. Those are regrets of different experiences. He's kind of being tormented by inner fear, guilt, anxieties, even those uncertainties that come into the night, appear in the night. So he is a being of air, an air being. So his wings should be carrying him high into the air, up into the sky, very open, expansive, a different world of freedom. Instead, it feels like a trap just closing in upon him with those howling winds, and the storm is approaching. So, if there were to just kind of cast aside the doubts and those knowings, he could be free as the storm crows kind of are spiraling in, these untroubling clouds, I should say, of inner turmoil, if you will. They're swirling. So there's this moment of vulnerability, validating emotions. His soul is opening up towards its own demons, if you will. So there's like guilt and fear and possibly locking your muscles into being immobile, and just understanding the source of our fears. We can learn what they mean and where they're stemming from. But just know that there's strength. There's a strength in breaking free of those bindings or shackles that lie within our own heart space. So feeling the feelings that we are frequenting today, where's the fear stemming from, or any other emotional feeling for that matter, right? So that's super saucy and juicy. And following the Ten of Swords, this always, oopsie, takes me a minute. Possibly. There we go. Which I love this card. Look at this. It's the Three of Cups. It's like what a swirl of a sphere, if you will. But the cups are our emotions, and the threes are beliefs. What do we believe? Heart-centered. So this is pretty juicy, right? And Jupiter has just entered the season of Aries. So that is our root center. So I would go with grounding, manifesting into the root. But there's a song that dwells in the ocean's floor, just like the singers of the realms are out in the galaxy. But these songs, they dwell in the ocean. They're in the in between space of water, hiding, you know, in the voices of whales or the squills of dolphins, those conversations, haunting the reefs or the caverns. And once in a great while, just like an air bubble, because this is water and air, right? Kind of flowing and filtering through. There's a gathering of beings under this crust, and they're bursting forth. They're kind of this unstoppable rising and moving towards the surface, swelling. So these sirens, they're deep. They've been waiting for this moment every time. And actually, this card, I started writing a novel called Evanesque, The Other World. It's about the other world moving me, or the world moving me, but it's this world of the underworld, which needs to be edited. But in this moment, they're all coming together. So when they feel the signal that trembles through the waves to all of the corners of the sea, that's when they begin to sing. So their voices weave this melody counter, and it's just independent of the oceanic song, different than the singers of the realm. So this laughter is ringing in with this continual melody, high notes upwards towards the surface, rippling through the lips of these little beings. So they're gleeful, they're in the waters, they're summoning the other beings of the sea, the denizen beings, the otherworldly beings, all the different characters that swell in the ocean's caverns, right? And following the wake of these sirens singing the song. So this very movement of all of these beings who swim through these waters, it's an elegant dance of this undulation, a powerful slicing through these waves. So it is our emotions moving through them. So this is kind of a liquid dance of the sea that's just coming to the surface. And the song is kind of echoing. It's this vast vault of the heavens. Again, the singer of the realms, all of them. But the Three of Cups is like bringing the song into our dimension. It's otherworldly. So it's like flowing through. It's celebration, it's singing, it's dancing. And it's also friendship. That's the key component. It's the access key. It's companionship. It's even relying on others to develop our tribe, our community, being a team spirit, if you will. But again, being that this is otherworldly, the other world, so this being the realm of the waters, is coming in to flood us with possibly some celebratory tears of joy and comforts, and knowing that we're all connected. We've all arrived here in this moment, in this time, for a reason. So it's a moment in time and space. It's alchemizing our light, transforming our fear with the collective. So, you know, we really aren't able to exist without the other. So it's all this container of it all, but it's our emotional field that's actually even online today. Our sacral is online. And then we have on the elemental realm, the cosmic highway, the galaxy and the beings of nature and all the good stuff. So nature created by the universe, right? So fire, source. So we have kind of this big bang in our star grid, in our light story, our heart center being that beacon that we are. So a door may open today to where our future belongs, just playing out on a vision quest. So kind of pay attention to the feels that float up, the feelings, the feelers from the ocean today, the song of the waters. And you're going to kind of feel as if the tides are kind of sweeping you in a new direction. So this is the vision quest. It's the door to different options. So you may have seen in the unseen, maybe something you're not familiar with even. So really feel your feels, feel into your future, and establish the connection for where your heart really fits in. Validate it is kind of where I'm going there. But again, on the elemental highway, we've got a big fire day. We've got the sun, yang fire being. It's a yang fire tiger of a day. We also got a forest and some grass, right? We've got some stuff going on. So it's a bing yin of a day. So our day is galactic strong, like seriously, galactic juicy strong. We've got fire born in a fire month. The snake itself is yang fire. And our day, so this is friendships, it's siblings that get along. It's not sibling rivalry. These are your siblings are your friends. Your parents are also your friends, but they're also supportive. lighting the fire grass. But our day is strong, it's bright, it's also hot. The water on the year, the yang water, that brings in a cooling effect to our day. The sun does need water, reflection, right? So that's super nice. But big metal, we do need some big metal to support the water, to produce more of the water, big water. So that's the element to support the heat of our day. So during the season of the snake, the month of the snake, the heat is really on. It's the beginning of the summer season, and the wood is feeding the fire. So water, big water is really what our day needs, even though we have some, and also big metal. It's like the clouds to create the thunderstorm. And our month brings us in a neighboring god. So these gods change based on different elemental features, how they play around. But on the month, we've got a neighboring super god, a talent. So this is direct support. It's being altruist. People with this super talent, they're concerned about the well-being of other people, especially those who may be poor, weak, or sick. So they have this compulsiveness, this need to assist or help in any possible way that they can. And often they have the ability to write songs, which they utilize the songs to address social injustices. Kind of reminds me of ballads, if you will, sharing empathy with others through music. So this is like water, nature, fire. I mean, we've got some juice. But we also have a super talent on our year that changed. Charismatic, go figure, all that fire getting fed. So it's kind of like ping-ponging through nature. Highly charismatic, somebody who may become famous, effortlessly famous, even authority figures, people that just light up a stage, massive amounts of self-confidence and courage. But that's what we see from the outside looking in. So I would say that our day is really on fire. It does need some water and also some metal, either one. So feelings are really on the menu. So you may be triggered internally, bringing it to your outer world, out into your auric field. So emotions actually bring us opportunities to upcycle our essence. So for me, what level my spirit operates on, for example, is beaconing in on a spiritual faith, just like clicking it in as if it's a new home. It's the heart of the chalice. It's the place of faith and just living life with purpose, transforming into something greater or higher, transcending, if you will, infused though with love. That's fire. So it's time to really utilize our love space, our own personal love space in our garden, our feelings. These two main ingredients, use them to elevate the meaning, our purpose of life to that next greater elevation. So it's like, what do you wish to grow in your daily life to take form? Energy to matter, right? And matter to energy. So our potential to manifest, to create, really needs the garden. It really needs our values, the personal ones, and also globally. So it really is time to be open to those unlimited possibilities. And also being that it's also Friday the 13th, I mean, the portal is open to those unlimited, endless possibilities. So dream otherworldly and feel the feels. So myself, I would probably recommend cleansing your auric field today down into the streams of your morphogenetic field also. Just really scrubbing the cosmic cobwebs. You know, you have to ask yourself, is this serving the queen? You're the queen, I'm the queen, okay? Or is it rusting my chalice? So scrub and scrub some more. So if the chalice isn't feeling shiny, like gold or a star that we are, the sun is online in the water, that's reflecting. So it brings in some good sauce. It's an otherworldly, cosmically dimensional kind of day. Really go on an inner vision quest, take an adventure, one that resides within you, and bring it to the surface, celebrate it. You know, we all deserve the juice, the long pour or a healthy pour at least. And I would really allow the singers of the realms and the ocean, the songs to the galaxy. See if you can hear the song of the universe, ecstasies. So this is like a mystic, transcendent sensation, kind of a serendipity feeling, if you will. But I would be aware consciously of the doorways or the portals that really open up today, and really open the door to feeling the joy, the peace, the happiness, the love, virtues. Those just happen to be mine. So it really is in our future, our vision of our future, and be aware of your feelers. They are waves to transforming those futures. So I would affirm that I am in my personal chalice, giving sight, third eye sight to my feelings, and knowing where my future exists, where it's going to take the stage. So yeah, make it a Freaky Friday, and I will see you after the full moon, being that we are in our spiritual chalice, connecting with the divine source, great spirit, and just allowing spirit to be truly that guiding light. But I also wanted to share just a snippet of human design. I'm a reflector. I talk about that all the time. So this particular moon is right on my same degree as human design. So it's at gate 14, line 1, if you know anything about human design. So this is prosperity. It's knowing that money isn't everything. It's an exchange of energy. It's the gate of wealth. It's good fortune. It's skills. It's our ability to recognize those opportunities in the physical world and accumulate wealth. And the part of fortune is also at the same gate as well, to add to this design, to bring in the sauce. So kind of muse on that a little bit for the full moon as well. But it's also our sacral center is going to be it's connected, right? So the sacral center, that's the source of creative energy. It's life sustaining. It's one of the 4 motors in human design. So the sacral, being that it's emotional empathy, right? It responds to whatever's coming towards us, from unimportant invitations like going to lunch or getting a pedicure, which I think is very important, to otherworldly, big, huge, significant events in life, like changes in our careers or marriages. And it's generally 2 fingers below our belly button. So the sacral, when it opens up, when it's used properly, and it closes down when it's not being used properly. So whenever this energy from the center is used correctly, it literally rejuvenates. It brings lightness. It brings joy, satisfaction. And when it's not being used correctly, then it leads to frustration, feelings of pressure. And being that the sacral is defined on this moon, this full moon, this energy is going to work hard to be sustainable. It's this wisdom of this center is to select work and things we do that just really feels the joy, feels right for what we're doing. And we generally are going to get a response from our belly button, if you will, not so much our gut, but more of the belly. But it has nothing to do with reason. It's a feeling center. It's what we feel. It is the moon. So kind of feel into your sacral over the weekend, and our feelings, and even Friday the 13th. Just pour in some good sauce today. And yeah, I will see you on the other side. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit late Monday. I have my parental duties with my dad. So with that, again, Ashe, and I will see you on the other side. I'm super excited for this full moon. I can just feel it. Anyway, I hope you can too. Blessings.